Hi guys, it's the 14th of February 2019 at 57 minutes past 12 over here in the UK, and looking at all the reports that are in the last two videos, we've now got Benjamin Netanyahu, appearing to say war with Iran is a common goal. So not only in the actions are we seeing a movement towards war with Iran, but now in the words, pretty blatant and direct. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu startled Iranians and even the White House on Wednesday, that was just yesterday or today still for some of you, with a strident call for Israeli Arab action against the government in Tehran. That was translated by his office as urging war with Iran. Although Israeli officials tried to soften the reference by altering the English translation, the provocative comment was likely to further the perception that Israel, its Gulf Arab neighbors, and the United States are interested in using military action to topple the government of Iran. It comes at a particularly delicate moment as the Trump administration uses a US-organized summit in Warsaw, which I believe is taking place today, and this week's 40th anniversary of the Iranian Revolution to try to rally the world against the government in Tehran. Netanyahu, in a short video recorded on the sidelines of the summit, emphasized the significance of Israeli and Arab officials appearing in the same venue, noting that the summit was not in secret because there are many of those. This is an open meeting with representatives of leading Arab countries that are sitting down together with Israel in order to advance the common interest of war with Iran, Netanyahu said. The Israeli government posted the Hebrew language video on Facebook and Twitter. In the video, Netanyahu uses the word milshama, which is literally translated to war, but can also be used figuratively to refer to combat or battle. Netanyahu's office also tweeted his statement on its English language Twitter account and used the word war. Shortly after, as Netanyahu's comments ricocheted around the world, the tweet was deleted and replaced with another one that changed it from war with Iran to combating Iran. The original video of Netanyahu's remarks was not removed from his Hebrew language Twitter account. We've always known Netanyahu's illusions. Now the world and those attending know, Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif responded on Twitter. The US government quickly reached out to Israeli officials to ask for an explanation. A senior US official traveling with Vice President Mike Pence, who is attending the summit in Warsaw, said that senior Israeli officials told the US that it was a matter of bad translation. But Senator Angus King of Maine, a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, dismissed the notion that Netanyahu had simply been mistranslated. He knew what he meant, King said on MSNBC. I have to agree. Netanyahu, who has also emphasized his toughness on national security as he seeks re-election, often uses harsh rhetoric to describe Iran and its intentions. Israel considers a nuclear-armed Iran to be an existential threat, and has sounded the alarm about Iran's influence in other parts of the Middle East, while Netanyahu generally stops short of calling for war in his public comments. The Israeli leader, who said he just finished meeting with Oman's foreign minister, has sought to highlight how communal concerns about Iran have enabled nascent ties between Israel and Sunni Arab states that had been unimaginable for generations. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain that do not recognize Israel or maintain any formal diplomatic relations have started acknowledging more and more openly their behind-the-scenes ties to Israel and their quiet cooperation on security issues, most notably Iran. President Donald Trump has shared Netanyahu's views about the dangers of Iran and delighted the Israeli government with his decision last year to withdraw the US from the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. But while the Trump administration had hoped to make this week's summit in Warsaw a rallying cry for tough action on Iran, the focus had to be expanded and the emphasis on Iran softened after numerous countries balked. Three foreign diplomats told NBC News. The US ultimately dropped direct references to Iran from its official descriptions of what would be on the agenda in Warsaw. So all of that's going on. Basically, Benjamin Netanyahu openly calling for war with Iran, and we have all the escalations in the reports, plus the interpretations from the iPad Go 2 video. So definitely keeping my eyes open tonight around the Middle East area and the Mediterranean. I do have Stromboli on watch. It is active, so it's possible it could erupt. I'm just keeping my eyes on it. I have a live cam on in Tropea on the coast of Italy, which is basically like just directly across from the Stromboli volcano. So basically, if there was a massive eruption and a tsunami happened, I should be able to see it coming in on the coast here if that were to happen. So keep my eyes on that. And I'm just going to play this video regarding a former US counterintelligence specialist who has been charged with spying for Iran. So you can see all these reports piling up on Iran, and yeah, keeping my eyes open. As I said, at the end of this video, the video will end. So have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.
Weirdly today, she vanished years ago in the Middle East, and her disappearance was of special concern because she had access to some of the most highly classified secrets of the United States military. Today, the FBI announced they have concluded that the missing woman is now a fugitive and believed to be a spy for Iran. Former Air Force intelligence specialist Monica Witt is being charged with espionage, allegedly having shared secrets with Iran, even helping the regime target her fellow intelligence agents. This all comes as tensions are rising between the U.S. and Iran, whose arsenal of missiles continues to grow. As CNN's Barbara Starr learned on the ground in the region, U.S. officials are trying to respond to every threat with a plan for action.
A former U.S. Air Force intelligence specialist who disappeared and was believed to be in Iran is now wanted by the FBI for spying on behalf of the Islamic Republic. 39-year-old Monica Witt, who had access to top-secret information, including names of U.S. intelligence officers, defected to Iran in 2013 and was once thought to be missing. But instead, the Justice Department says she was recruited by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Monica Witt provided the Iranian government with the identities of employees in the U.S. intelligence community who were operating covertly.
The Justice Department says Witt worked with Iran to target at least 8 U.S. government agent computer accounts in order to deploy malware that would provide access to computers and networks used by the U.S. intelligence community. The U.S. also alleges Witt created target packages for Iran to identify and track down U.S. government agents. This week, Iran marks 40 years since the Islamic Revolution brought the current regime to power. And the rhetoric from the Trump administration is getting hotter.
I don't think you'll have many more anniversaries to enjoy.
But I appreciate your judgment.
The hawkish language from National Security Advisor John Bolton is at odds with the Pentagon, according to a senior military official. The official said the military is seeking to avoid open conflict with Iran and rely instead on economic and diplomatic pressure. Military commanders believe Bolton, who worked for President George W. Bush during the Gulf War, is more strident and has a proclivity for action in the Gulf, the official said. But in an exclusive television interview, the top Navy commander for the region says the threat is real.
We see several capabilities there. They have a growing capability in cruise missiles. They have a growing capability in ballistic missiles. They have a growing capability in unmanned surface systems.
U.S. military officials say some of these new Russian weapons moving into Iran are so powerful with longer ranges that the U.S. military may have to change the way it conducts operations in those vital Persian Gulf waterways within the next 5 years. Jake?
And Barbara, you were aboard the USS Gladiator in the Strait of Hormuz. What's the specific mission for that crew?
Well, there's actually 4 of these small mine ships out there. They're permanently stationed out here in the Gulf, and their sole job in a contingency, in a crisis, is to go out on the waters, find mines, most likely laid by Iran, search them out, and disable and destroy them to keep those shipping lanes open, commerce, oil shipping, to keep all of it going.